Welcome back to Solo Marvel Champion, where I've got another topic video for you. As always, check the description for more YouTube creators making videos for Marvel Champions. And if you like what you saw here today, please consider a like, sub, and comment to help the channel grow. With that out of the way, let's get to today's topic. Alright, this is the third video in the This or That series. Today I'm looking at leadership allies and doing this or that. Again, this has nothing to do with best or strongest. I'm just looking at two allies at a time and deciding between those two, which do I like the best. And then I will, and let me back that up. The one I like the most, not the one I like the best. Then I'm going to narrow it down to my final two, and once I have all the aspects in basic, I'll shuffle all of those together and narrow it down to my favorite two from all aspects in basic. So our first two are Giant Man and Kid Omega. Giant Man is really, really cool because the first time you attack with him, he attacks for 4. The second time you attack with him, he attacks for 4. You have a lot of cost. It's a total of 6, but he's attacking for 4/4/2/2 or 4/4/2 and a defend. So 10 plus a defend for 6 resources is pretty good. Kid Omega only costs 2 though, and he can thwart for 2 or attack for 2 twice. And he's got his response kicker, is what I call it. After he enters play, spend an energy, deal damage to each enemy. Spend a mental, remove a threat from each scheme. Of the two, this one's really choice. This one is a really difficult choice because I really, really like this Giant Man. I think just from a purely ease of play perspective, I'm going to go Kid Omega. Next we have Arrow and US Agent. 3 cost 1/1/5 with Retaliate. That's a really good thing. And Arrow 3/1/1, you can exhaust her to give another player's aerial characters +1 attack until the end of the, round? Into the phase. So it can be really good, but you pretty much have to be playing in an aerial-focused deck. I think US Agent is just easier to get into a deck. White Wolf, who I haven't used yet, and Patriot. Let's see. White Wolf, 2/2/3, 2 consequential on thwart, 0 consequential on attack, but after he attacks, place a threat on the main scheme. Leadership is really good at removing threat, so that's probably not an issue. Patriot, 2/1/4 for 3 cost. Again, 2 consequential, 1 respectively. He is a champion. After he enters play, choose a champion character. That character gets +1 to each of its basic powers till the end of the round. Very good in a champion deck. I think all around, White Wolf is a little more versatile because you don't have to be playing just champion to get good use out of him. So I'm going to go with White Wolf. Also, with that no consequential on attack, he's going to be really good in a Voltron deck. Get that attack up higher. I might even think about putting him in my Spider-Woman Voltron deck. It's called Voltron Rich Environment. It uses leadership and aggression to Voltron these guys. I think this would be really good in that deck. Victoria Hand and Mirage. Even if you're not playing a shield-heavy deck, a lot of people are still playing Helicarrier, so you can play her and ready that Helicarrier to use it again. I do like that a lot. Mirage, 2/1/2. She actually has the same stat line, 2/1/2. After she enters play, choose an enemy whose scheme is less than her thwart. Stun that enemy. Now, like, Rhino has a thwart of 1 on all 3 of his stages, so that would be good for the stun there. Other than that, there are ways to increase her stun as she enters play so that after she enters play, she's got a 3 thwart. That could be fun too. I think she is tech against certain villains where Victoria Hand can be more useful in any. That could also ready government liaison if you were using that. This could ready the Alpha Flight Station if you're playing Captain Marvel. So I think she's a little more versatile. EVA with M. EVA shouldn't be in here. It's in here because I have it right next to the ally that goes with EVA. So we have Pixie and M. Pixie is another one that, while she costs less, she's one who you really play in an X-Men heavy deck. So I'm going to go with M just for that. But her stats are good too. 2 thwart, 3 attack, 1 and 2 consequential respectively, 4 hit points. After she enters play, defeat a minion with fewer remaining hit points than M. So, even though I've never played her, I love the idea of this ally. Even if it was an armored guard, right? You're playing Claw. Just play her. She has 4 hit points. That armored guard only has 3. You defeat that minion without having to deal any damage. M is really fun. Goliath in X23, he gets +4 attack until the end of the phase as an action. And then you have to discard him at the end of the phase. So basically what you do with him is attack with him or thwart with him once, and then the second turn he's in play, give him that +4 attack and attack again. Maybe then, because he gets discarded at the end of the phase, maybe you thwart with him first and then attack with him for 5, and then play something like, I can't remember the name of it. It's the one basically you discard it and deal damage equal to his cost. That could be fun. You could play Last Stand so that now he's not attacking for 5, he's attacking for 8. That could be a lot of fun too. X23, cheaper, 1, 3 attack, 3 hit points. After she attacks and defeats an enemy, ready her. I like that ability, so I'm going to go with X23. Iron Man and Cloud9. Cloud9 is another one that you have to be running a lot of aerial characters, I think. So I'm not going to pick her. She's just more limited in the deck she's going to go in. Iron Man does cost 4, but he's a really easy Voltron target. Reduce the cost to play each upgrade on him by 1, so Inspired is free. In my blue-red deck, Enraged would be free. So really fun. I'm going to go with Iron Man. Phoenix and Maria Hill, this is no contest, despite the fact that I love Phoenix so much. Again, though, she goes in a deck with a lot of X-Men allies. For that reason alone, I would push her out, but Maria Hill is just so ubiquitous. I don't think, well, that's not true. I was about to say I don't think I've built a leadership deck without Maria Hill ever, but that's not true. Sometimes I'm like, I don't want to play Maria because she's so ubiquitous. But 2 cost, 2 thwart, 1 attack, 2 hit points. After she enters play, each player draws a card. Each player draws a card is so much fun in multiplayer games. Got to go with Maria Hill. Squirrel Girl and Phantom X. He's the one that comes with EVA. Squirrel Girl is a lot of fun, especially like if you're playing Ultron. Squirrel Girl is going to come in real handy. But even if you're not playing Ultron, dealing 1 damage to each enemy is a really good effect. It's going to ping off Tufts. It's going to soften up some minions. So I still like Squirrel Girl. Phantom X, after he enters play, find this and put it into play. If he is not in play, discard this. So as soon as he is defeated, this goes with him. But action, exhaust this, remove a threat from a scheme, or deal a damage to an enemy, or heal a damage from Phantom X. That can be really, really good, especially as a Voltron target. If you're buffing his thwart and or attack, keeping him alive for a very long time could be really good. Here's a case, though, where I do think I'm going to pick Squirrel Girl just because of that ping damage on everything when she enters play. Beast and Ronin. I don't know if it's Ronin or Ronin. This is really tough, though. Fantastic in any Voltron deck. As soon as you put an attachment on him, no matter what it is, he goes to 2/3. Beast, though, is going to go find a resource card. So he costs 4, but in Captain Marvel, who has a triple resource, in Hulk, who has a triple, Domino has a triple, but then anyone else who has special double resources that might add a counter, like Gambit's adds a counter to him. Ironheart's adds a counter to her, and then you use those counters to upgrade her. Rocket's Salvage lets you put tech on top of your deck. So Beast is really, really good for just reusing your special resources. And while I do like Ronin, I am going to go with Beast. Spider-Man 2099 and Kalu. Now, even though it's after he uses basic power, return a Web Warrior ally to your hand, you don't have to be playing a lot of Web Warrior allies because he can return himself to his hand. He would return himself to his hand before he takes the consequential damage. So he can be good on his own. You know, he can thwart or attack for 6, come back to your hand, you play him, and just keep using him over and over again. He is expensive, so you probably won't do that too often. Kalu, though, only costs 2. He's a 1/1/2, and after he enters play, look at the top 5 cards for an event, add it to your hand. So many times that picking an event from the top of my deck has come in clutch that I've got to go with Kalu. If I'm building a Web Warrior deck with lots of Web Warrior allies, I'm going to go Spider-Man 2099. But for general purpose goodness, I'm going to go with Kalu. Major Victory in Hawkeye. Here's another one. I've got to go Hawkeye because he's more versatile. He's going to have arrow counters, and those arrow counters can really knock down some minion health as they enter play. Major Victory is good as long as you're either playing a Guardian hero or have lots of Guardian allies. When he's defeated, choose a friendly Guardian character, ready that character. I like Major Victory, but Hawkeye is king in that matchup. Cable and Falcon. After enters play, look at the top 3 of the deck. For each treachery looked at this way, remove a threat from a scheme. This isn't going to modify the top 3 cards of the deck, but it is going to give you deck knowledge. It's one of the reasons I like Blindfold and Justice so much. Cable, 2 thwart, 3 attack, 1 and 2 consequential damage respectively. 3 hit points. After Cable attacks and defeats a side scheme, draw a card. That's super good. Of the 2, with the same cost, because I do really, really like encounter deck knowledge, I'm going to go Falcon. Vision and Sunspot. Both of these care about physical resources, not physical energy resources. 4 cost, 1, 2, 3. 3 cost, 1, 2, 2. Action, spend an energy, choose thwart or attack. Until the end of the phase, he gets +2 to the chosen power. That's really, really good. So he can thwart for 3 or attack for 4. That's super good. Sunspot, after you play Sunspot from your hand, choose a player, deal a damage to the villain, and each minion engaged with the chosen player for each energy used to play Sunspot. So he's going to be very good in Captain Marvel because she has a resource that generates 3 energy. He's going to be good elsewhere, though. Anytime you can use energy, you're going to use it to play Sunspot. That is going to, most of the time, if you're playing him the way he's designed to be played, deal 3 damage to the villain and each minion just when you play him. Very good, but because this is a repeatable action, and he can basically attack for 4 3 times, I'm going to go Vision. I do like Sunspot, though. Stinger and Spectrum. You can only play her if you are an Avenger. It's not a big deal. She does not count towards your ally limit. So that's really fun. She doesn't do a lot. She's a 1/1/2 But she is a free 1/1/2. She does not count against your ally limit. So you can attack or thwart for her once and then block with her, and you still haven't used an ally slot. So I do like Stinger for that. Spectrum, 5 cost 1/1/3. After you play Spectrum, tuck one card used to pay for her under her. If it has, I'm just going to skip right to Wild because you're probably going to be packing some Power of Leadership in this deck. Do all of the above. She's going to be a 3 thwart, 3 attack, 5 hit point ally just because you paid for her with Power of Leadership and tucked it under her. She is incredibly strong, and I really do love her. And even though Stinger is way cheaper and doesn't take up an ally slot, she is less versatile because you can only play her if you are an Avenger. So in this case, for the raw power she provides, I'm going to go Spectrum. Ant-Man and Caliban, 0 cost 2/2/0. He gets +1 hit point for each PIM counter on him. Interrupt, when he enters play, place a PIM counter on him to a maximum of 4 for each resource you overpaid for him. So you could pay for him with 2 doubles. He has 4 hit points and can attack for 2 or thwart for 2 4 times. But he's super versatile. Maybe you only need a defender, right? You only need someone to chump block for you. Just spend 1 resource, and now he's a 2/2 with 1 hit point. You put him into play and use him to defend for you. Maybe you have, and I can't remember the name of it. It's the one that gives all allies +1 hit point. You can just play him for 0, and he can still defend for you because he's got 1 hit point. Super versatile, and I do love him for that versatility. Caliban, 3 cost, 1 thwart to attack, 3 hit points. After he enters play, discard cards from the top of your deck until an X-Factor, X-Force, or X-Men ally is discarded. Add him to your hand. Now, if you are playing a style of deck where you just want to churn through your own deck for whatever reason, he is really good because you don't have to play any of these other ally types or ally traits. Just play him and discard the rest of your deck because you won't find one of those ally traits. That's good for a deck that maybe runs White Fox, who's just going to pop out. The resource that comes to your hand, digging deep. When you discard it, it comes to hand. Maybe you're playing Caliban in a deck specifically to draw those things out. He can be really fun in that case. Of the two, though, I've got to go Ant-Man for his just crazy versatility. Wonder Man and Black Panther. 2 cost, 1/3/3. As an additional cost for him to attack, you must discard a card from your hand. Now, you only paid 2 for an ally that attacks for 3 times, so that is not a terrible cost. But I'm going to go with Black Panther here because it depends on the deck you're using, but you always want to have an event in mind when you're adding Black Panther to your deck. Like I've got him in decks that recur Psychic Kicker. I can then immediately play Psychic Kicker to get him up to 4 attack. So basically maybe you say, I'm running Make the Call in my deck. I want to play him and get a Make the Call to also play Maria Hill, whatever. Maybe you're playing Get Ready. You say, he's here specifically to get ready so I can attack for 2, ready him, and attack for 2 more, etc. Whatever the case may be, I always like to have a plan in mind if I'm going to add Black Panther to my deck. It's not just add pick any random leadership card. Have a plan for the one you want to be pulling with him when you add him to your deck. Maria Hill, that is my alt art. Let me put that aside because I've already ranked Maria Hill. Power Man, 1 cost, 0 attack, 3 hit points. He does enter with 2 Chi counters. Is that Chi or Chi? Action, discard any number of Chi counters from him. He gets +2 for each Chi counter discarded. So he comes in with 2. Basically, he is going to most likely just attack for 4 the turn he comes in, and then thwart for 1 the next time. Or maybe you attack for 2 once and attack for 2 another time. Domino, after you use one of her basic powers, swap a card in your hand to the top of your deck. That's a really clutch ability, and I do really like that. I'm going to go with Domino here because I like that ability. Adam Warlock and Hawkeye Kate Bishop. Adam Warlock is fun. 3-cost, 1/1/3. After he attacks or thwarts, discard a card at random from your hand if it has a printed resource, physical, energy, mental, or wild. Do one of the following, or do that option. Now, of course, the best way to play Adam Warlock is wait until you only have one card left in your hand so you know what that ability is going to be. So attack with him for 1. Oh, the only card I have left in my hand is this physical. I'm going to remove 3 threat from a scheme. Or I'm going to hold on to that wild in my hand, play everything else out so that when he attacks, I get to choose which effect I use. He's a lot of fun. Kate Bishop only costs 2, 1, 2, 2. Exhaust this ally and discard a card from your hand. Deal X to an enemy where X is the number of printed resources on that card. That, it's going to be really good in characters who have those triple resources. But also, I don't really want to just be discarding resource cards. I might consider Hawkeye in Hulkling because he has 4 upgrades that have 2 printed resources on them. So it might be really good there, but I really like Adam Warlock. Just play him smartly, and he really does some fun things. White Tiger and Falcon. Anytime you're playing Expert, White Tiger should be in your deck. 3-cost, 2/2/2, and after you play her from your hand, draw X cards where X is the villain's stage number. If the villain has no stage number, like it's an A or B, draw 1 card. So, of course, you don't want to be playing her in Expert games with an AB enemy. But you do want to be playing her in a stage 1, 2, 3 enemy villain when you're playing Expert. She's very good, drawing you 3 cards, 2 or 3. But 2 is still good. It's better than just drawing 1 in Standard. Falcon, 4-cost, 1/2/3. After he attacks or thwarts, spend energy, ready another champion character you control. Could be good. Again, though, you have to be playing champion to take effect, or for that to be effective. So I'm going to go White Tiger. Gentle and Cyclops. 3-cost, 1/3/3. He takes +1 consequential after he attacks the villain. So you're going to use him for minions. Cyclops, 3/2/2/2. After he enters play, choose an enemy until the end of the phase. Increase the amount of damage he takes from each attack by 1. You don't have to be playing X-Men to use that. So I'm going to go Cyclops. Black Knight and Havoc, 3-cost, 1/2/3. He has piercing, so that is really nice in villains who do get toughs pretty often. Havoc, 4-cost, 1/2/3. When he attacks, discard the top card of the encounter deck. For each boost icon discarded this way, he gets +1 attack and takes +1 consequential. I've never used him because of that +1 consequential. But if you're playing ready for action, give him a tough before he attacks, and that extra consequential damage doesn't even matter. He could be a lot of fun. I like playing Black Knight, though, as tech against villains who get toughs. Captain Marvel and Beta Ray Bill. Both 5-cost allies. 2/3/4. After Captain Marvel enters play, discard the top 4 of your deck. If you discard a printed energy, deal 3 damage to an enemy. If you discard more than 1 energy, also stun them. I have whiffed a surprising number of times with Captain Marvel. Beta Ray Bill, 5-cost, 1/3/4. After Beta Ray Bill attacks and defeats a minion, remove 2 from a scheme. That's not true. Remove 2 from the main scheme. It can be iffy if there's a crisis icon, but he's really, really good. He's just like Winter Soldier, basically. Problem I have with him is that cost. So you want to be playing him in decks where you can reduce cost. And because I've whiffed so many times on Captain Marvel, I'm going to go Beta Ray Bill here. 4 cards left. Oh, Slingshot and Yondu. 3 cost, 2/2/3. You're almost never playing that 3 though. Action, spend an energy resource. Put Slingshot into play from your hand under any player's control. I've never put it under any player's control except my own. At the end of the phase, if she's still in play, returning her to your hand. That happens after you draw up to hand size. So you'll draw your 5, and then she comes back to hand. Yondu may have been the first really good Voltron ally, but maybe not. That Iron Man may have come out before him. 4 cost, 2/1/2, no consequential damage on the attack. Yondu's attacks gain range, so he doesn't even have to worry about retaliate. If you can Voltron him, get his attack way up, he would be super, super fun. For my part, and mainly because I watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this year and fell in love with Yo-Yo, I've got to go Slingshot. Hugin and Moonin and Captain America. 2/1/1/2. After Hugin and Moonin enters play, search the top 5 of the encounter deck for a minion, put it into play, ready a character for each of the boost icons on that minion's boost area, or in that minion's boost area. Super good, super fun for readying. You do get to choose out of those top 10. So if you have a couple of them, you generally are going to choose the one with the most boost icons, which could, of course, be bad for you, but super fun ally. Captain America, 6 cost, 2/2/4 with tough. You reduce the cost to play him for each Avenger character you control. So if you're going all out on Avenger, Captain America is super, super good. For the cost, and because it doesn't matter what other traits you're running, I really like Hugin and Moonin, but man, Captain America in the right deck does a lot of work for you. Got to go with the birds here. Let's give a shuffle to my winners and go again. We're going to get down to my top 2. Domino and Adam is tough. I think I'm going to go with Adam here. White Tiger and Beast is also really tough. If you're playing a lot of expert games, White Tiger is better. Beast, though, I mean, let's say he comes into play because of Call for Backup. He's also bringing a resource with him. He can be very good. This one is really tough. I feel like, because I've played way more expert games this year, 2025, than I have previously, I'm going to go White Tiger. But I absolutely love Beast, too. Kalu and X23. I'm going to go X23 just because she's a total minion slayer. But Kalu has been so good, so clutch at getting a card when I needed it. Ant-Man and Hawkeye. Gotta go Hawkeye just because he can shoot minions when they enter play. Falcon and Cyclops, you win most of the time by beating the villain. So I'm going to go with Cyclops. Squirrel Girl and M, that 1 ping damage to everything is super nice. But M being able to get rid of even an elite minion just because their hit points are lower than hers, gotta go with M. Hugin and Moonin and Kid Omega, same cost, but I'm going to go with Kid Omega because unless you're a character or a hero who wants minions, I'm not really playing Hugin and Moonin. Kid Omega can go in any deck. Black Panther and Maria is incredibly tough. Yeah, you get the draw here, but with him, again, you're putting him in a deck for a specific reason, to recur a specific leadership event. You got to go with Maria, though. She comes in, she draws you a card, she thwarts 2, and then defends for you. Got to go with Maria, but Black Panther is a very good ally, too. Black Knight and Slingshot. The piercing is good, but again, I only use him as tech against villains who have a lot of tough. So I'm going to go with Yo-Yo. Vision and Victoria. He can do a lot of work for you. And you do have to be playing at least some shield supports to play Victoria, or to get the most use out of Victoria. I'm going to have to go with Vision here. Iron Man and U.S. Agent. I do like his ability to reduce cost, but with 5 hit points and Retaliate 1, he can do a lot of work for that 3 cost. White Wolf and Beta Ray Bill. I'm going to go White Wolf because he's so much cheaper. And Spectrum doesn't have anyone to compare to. So she just goes in the winner pile. Let's go again. It's really tough when you are looking at 2 that you already really like and choosing which of those 2 you like more. I almost said Eminem. I'm going to go over Spectrum. Again, just because she can knock out an elite minion without having to deal any damage. White Wolf and White Tiger. Card draw is King. X23 and Maria. Maria's still so ubiquitous. Got to go with Maria. Adam and Vision. I got to go with Adam for the ability to do more than just attack, even though, Vision is so good attacking for 4. You need those energy resources to do that, but I'm going to go with Adam. U.S. Agent and Hawkeye. Hawkeye with his arrows beats U.S. Agent's Retaliate. Cyclops and Slingshot is really tough. I got to go with Cyclops here because, again, dealing damage is how we win most of the time. Kid Omega can't compare, so he goes to the win pile. Hawkeye and Kid Omega. Oof. Gotta go Hawkeye. M and Cyclops. I've got to go Cyclops. Adam and White Tiger. Going to go White Tiger for the card draw. Maria can't compare. And this is going to get us down to our bottom 2. Bottom 2 or top 2, however you want to look at it. We get Hawkeye and we get White Tiger. Drawing cards is good, but minions are obstacles most of the time to winning. If a minion only has 1 attack, I'll let him sit around for a while. But if he's attacking for 2 and 3, generally I want to get rid of him as quickly as possible. And Hawkeye helps me do that. That means Maria and Cyclops. And this one is truly, truly tough. Everything attacking the villain gets +1 attack. Of course, you have to name the villain, but you're going to do that most of the time. This is maybe the hardest one I've looked at because Maria is just so good. Make the call for her. Everyone gets to draw a card. Comes in with a call for backup. Everyone gets to draw a card. Rapid response. She comes back into play. Everyone gets to draw a card. A lot of that can be said for Cyclops, too. You play him, all your attacks are +1. All of yours and your allies, all of your teammates, if you're playing multiplayer, everyone's is +1. Rapid response, he comes in, you say it again. Call for backup, make the call. You're still increasing that because it's when he enters play. Just because of the damage factor, I've got to go with Cyclops over Maria, and that breaks my heart a little bit because Maria is so fun. So those are my last 2 in leadership, Hawkeye Clint and Cyclops. He's going to help me with the minion problem. He is going to help me win faster. So that's where I got with leadership, Hawkeye and Cyclops. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a marvelous day.